you can only get the answers to the questions that you're asking. And they will be formatted in the same language as your question. So if your question is asking about the color of an object, the answer will not tell you about the texture. The answer will not tell you what the object is for. The answer will not tell you who created the object. The answer is only gonna inform you of the color, but you're gonna think that the color is the only important thing about it. But that's only because of your question. You have to ask all the questions that are important to you. You have to upgrade your questions based on the upgrade of your internal belief system. If your internal belief system is upgrading, but you're asking the questions you always asked, you're gonna receive the answers you've always received, and you're gonna feel like, oh, all of this internal work doesn't mean anything because I'm not receiving new answers. But that's because you're formatting your questions exactly the same. So that's number one. I'll give examples later. I have to get this out. Number two, I'm looking around and I'm saying, I'm feeling unhappy. Maybe like discontent. Maybe like anxiety around connections and social situations and being around people that I've known forever. And my mind is going really fast and going like, you did this wrong and this is wrong and all of these things are wrong. So to me, it feels like I'm having, one, less of a fun time. Two, people like me less. Three, my reality is not reflecting back to me who I think I am. Okay. But what's happening is, in the past, I had a different image of myself, and reality reflected that to me. Because that image was not coherent and it was like all over the place. It was not one solid thing. And so reality was able to hit that goal more frequently because the goal itself was moving. So to me, that felt more like success. And because I didn't have any coherent sort of internal system, I was able to have more fun because I was like okay with everything. And also, that period lasted so long that I was able to have more fun because I was like past the initial stage of it. So I was already in the comfort stage. Okay. What's happening now is my internal belief system is totally different. And I spent so much time on it intentionally that it's way more coherent and solid. It's a solid, fixed thing. Not fixed, but for this purpose, yes. And it's more intense in what it is. So I'm more intentional about my focus. And so anything in the external world outside of my internal world, if it's even slightly out of this reality that I'm living in my mind, I will be like, that's not fun. I don't want that. I want this. So I think it's going to show immediately because my discernment is getting stronger. And then also it's going to feel way more intense. And also, this is so new. I'm in the new stage of it. So it's like not going to be fun. Even the fun things are not going to be fun. Unless I like force the fun. I am having fun. It's just like there's this thing that takes the fun out of it sometimes, and then I get the fun back. And that thing is annoying me because I'm like, where's the pure fun that I used to have? And I think it's a new stage. And I think my main thought that's removing the fun is that I like live in my reality 99% of the time, my reality. And then it feels like 1% of the time I go outside or something, I see other people, and the reality reflected back to me is not my reality. And I think we've grown up with the thought that what we see is fact. What's in our mind is not fact. So the reality that's reflected back to me shows me, one, a version of me that is not true in my opinion or something. Two, a version of me that's not true. You know what I mean? It's not true. And two, it's not the reality that I want to live in, I guess. And three, it makes me feel like I'm way more delusional than I thought the 99% of the time. And then I go home feeling dejected and unsupported and feeling like, whoa, I was stupid. But the default thought of like what we see as the fact is not true anyway. I mean, sure, it could be, but also the internal reality is also a fact. And the main thing is actually that my reality not reflecting my internal reality doesn't mean that I'm not supported or that I'm delusional or that I'm walking a path that's like that I'm blinding myself, because I don't feel like I'm blinded. This is the first time I feel like I'm not blinded. And so it's like a second betrayal where I'm like, not only am I blinding myself, I thought that this is the first time I'm not being blinded. So it's like double betrayal on myself, and I feel way worse. But the reason that it's not reflecting that reality back to me is because it's too new. And the reason that I feel such a difference is because my internal world is getting stronger and building a better foundation and is becoming more intense internally. I all I have to do is give myself time and give the world time and give the people in the world time. Because I will learn how to exist in my reality. And that will be reflected back. Like I can't see this as a rejection, because my inner knowing is so strong, and I know I'm not blinded in this thing. I could be blinded in other things. I just believe in it so strongly that I can spend my whole life living in this reality and feel a lot better. I think the pain comes from me feeling delusional and going like, my internal reality doesn't matter, and I have to like wake up and join the world or something, and I so don't want to. This is not something that's built for me. This is not something that's built for anyone. And I'm dreaming of a better world for me and for you, where I can do more for the people around me, and I can be more, and everyone can be more, and there's more room for expansion, and there's way less shame. And honestly, a lot of the feelings that do come up in me are shame, and so I'm just getting rid of those, I think. And that's why it feels really painful. And that's why when I ask the question, why am I not supported? The answer that I'm going to get is going to be something like, I can't think of an answer because I'm not asking that question. I would normally. Why am I not supported? And yeah, the default answer that my mind is going to give me is because you're unworthy, because you're wrong, because you're not living in the real world, because you need to grow up and wake up. The question that I do ask now is, where is the environment that will support me? And the answer that will come will be, do this, go over here. It's forward movement. Do you see the difference? The answer is not coming from the mind, it's coming from my inner knowing, it's coming from the world around me, it's coming from a place of curiosity and fun and wonder and creation. The first answer is coming from shame and fear and contraction and default and the past. That's the difference. I want to ask questions from the future. I want to ask questions based on, what if nothing was wrong ever? What question would I ask? The question would be, what next? What do I want to do next? What's my next desire? What do I want to create? That's my next question. There's no other priority for me. It's not all of these things like, this person didn't do this and I didn't feel this when they said this. All of this is, these are questions I no longer want to ask because it's irrelevant. The people around me, what's important to me is that I love them. That's it, point blank. What's important to me is, when I make a decision, I go, do I want to do this? And the answer is yes, then I'll do it. It's not about, did they do this for me? I no longer want to ask that question because that's my priority. Because what's for me, the support that I want, the reality I want to see reflected back to me, I'll have it. It doesn't have to be me forcing anything, and nor do I want that. I'm not asking for that anymore. Even if some God up there is like, you have to do all of this, I'm like, I reject that. Sorry, I'm not going to force a reality in which I have to work to gain love or gain support or feel supported. No. That's going to happen. That's going to happen without me pushing or pulling. Okay. Bye. Love you. Always love you.